My name's Fraser. I'm the co-founder of a marketing agency called Fraggle. We're a fairly successful agency here in the UK, and I've made a lot of mistakes being a young person running a business. It's a pretty hard thing to do, and so I want to share with you some of the mistakes that I've made in the 10 years that I've been managing this company in order to educate you and hope that you don't make the same mistakes as I did. Before we go any further, make sure that you like the video before we've even got into it so that I can prove that you really are a true fan, and hit subscribe if you want more videos about business and marketing. The first mistake that I made was lacking direction. It's key to set yourself an end goal, whether that's yearly, monthly, whatever it is you want a goal to hit, whether that's earning £10,000 in 1 month, maybe earning £20,000 in 1 month, and move those goalposts as you progress as a business so that you always have an aim point for where you want to be. For us, 2 years ago, we were a very different business and we wanted to hit 10K, 20K months consistently, and so we seeked advice and we seeked mentorship in order to help us get there, and I'm pleased to say that we did get that. We set a direction of where we wanted to be, we set a goal and we headed towards that, and by having that meant that we were clear in our focus. And also setting these goals makes it more achievable and obtainable for you, so when you reach these goals you have that success. Instead of saying, all right, I want to be a £10 million business, that goal might not happen for 5-6 years. So instead, smaller direction, smaller goals will help you get there faster. As well as setting direction for your business, it's very important that you set direction and you niche down to what you actually do. Don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none. From around 2015 to probably like 2020, we were a video production company. We did anything. We said yes to anything. As long as it involved video and social media, we do it. However, that meant that people didn't know what we did. They didn't know what our direction was as a company. Whereas now people know that if they want e-commerce videos for paid social, they come to Fraggle. Having that direction, niching down and focusing down is so key to your growth as a business, and it was a massive mistake that we made that if I would have fixed sooner, our growth would have been much faster, much sooner. The next one is a trap which every single startup falls into, and it's hiring too soon. The question you need to ask yourself before you hire an employee is, do we need them? I'm not saying overwork yourself because you don't want to employ someone, but if there is a real need in your company and there is a gap to be filled, then hire someone. If there's not, then maybe learn that skill yourself until you can afford and you desperately need to hire that person. We hired a business developer manager very, very early on, and it was the wrong thing to do. They stayed with us for about 3 or 4 months until we realized that we don't have enough money to pay this person, and we certainly don't need them. In fact, that was a skill that I should have learned much sooner on. So unfortunately, we had to let that person go, and that was a major mistake because we wasted a lot of money, but most importantly, we wasted a lot of somebody's time. They were working for us with the end goal to hopefully work with us for a long period of time, but unfortunately, we couldn't do that because their service just wasn't needed. And so before you hire, make sure that you know why you're hiring. Is it just to say that you pay 3 or 4 employees, or is it because you actually need a gap filled in the business? I know right now that there are 2 positions that I want to hire as a company, and so I'm working towards the goal of hiring them. And until we get there, we'll all just pick up the slack so that we can still function as a company, and then when we eventually hire someone, the rest of the staff will be relieved and the quality of our work will be way better. Third mistake I made was not learning sales sooner. I thought as a creative professional that just doing my trade, just making videos is enough for people to want to buy my product. And the matter of the fact is that's not the case. You need to learn different skill sets to run a business. I studied filmmaking at university. I wanted to be a cinematographer. I wanted to be a director, but then I found a love for business and I started to grow a video production business. And now I very rarely get behind a camera and start actually making stuff, but that's fine because I've learned other skills along the way, and one of them, which is so vital, is sales. You need to be able to sell and communicate your product and your value to your potential customers. When you get on the phone with a lead, I used to just tell them about our company. Oh yeah, we've been in business this long and we do this and we do this. And we ended the call very open-ended. I never knew whether we were going to actually have a job at the end of it or not. And that's pointless. You need to know where you are as a business, and the only way that you can know where you are as a business is getting better at sales and communicating your product over the phone or in person, so that when you leave that, you know there's a 50, there's a 70% chance that you're going to sign that client in the next 3 days. I learned sales in a multitude of ways. The first one was using a mentorship course called Traffic and Funnels. That was the first kind of place where I got a taste of sales and what it was like to actually run a business. And the second one was with a mentorship program called Hydra. I work with Josh, which is my agency mentor, and he helps me with sales, he helps me running the business. All in all, sets me with all the skills that I need to successfully carry on growing my agency, and that's so vital. Learn the skill sets that you don't have. The main one for me was sales. The trap that almost every single creative falls into is underselling yourself, and that is the fourth, probably the most important mistake that I made. As soon as I realized that my service is worth value and can bring other businesses value, is the time that we actually started to make serious money. Going out, filming a video for 300 quid and editing it, that you're underselling yourself, because the potential is the client you're making this video for will go on and carry on making, tens of thousands of pounds from the product that you've made. So don't undersell yourself. Charge your worth. It doesn't matter whether you're a creative or whether you manage ads or whether you do copywriting, whatever it is, you need to charge your worth. If people aren't willing to pay your worth, then they're not the right client. And as soon as you realize that, you develop what your worth is and you know what that is and you have a price tag on it, you will start to successfully grow your business. Don't discount yourself. Don't discount the work that other people are doing for you as well. It's so vital that you charge what you are worth. Not only does it make you feel more successful and feel more pleased with the work that you're doing, but it also allows you to do the things that, doing what you love helps you achieve. You can, buy a nice car if you want one. You can help your family out. All the things that you want to do will only happen when you start to charge your worth. You can't live on £300 shooting and editing a video or £200 a month for running someone's ads. And the final, most pivotal, spat everywhere there, I'm sorry. And finally, the biggest mistake that I made as running a business is relying on one client too much. I graduated university in July of 2017. In June, we had just signed our first major client. They were paying us about £6,000 a month to go in and create them content. This was the first retainer job that we'd ever landed, and it was the best thing to ever happen. It opened up a lot of doors for us as an agency. It allowed us to get an office, to pay ourselves a wage, all the things that you want to do from your own business. However, we fell into the trap of relying on that too much. So unfortunately, when they didn't renew and they said goodbye, we had to scramble. Suddenly, we went from having £6,000 every single month coming into the bank account and not really having to worry massively financially in order to pay ourselves. Suddenly, we had no money coming in the bank account other than the £500 jobs that we were doing one-off for everyone else. And so it was a major mistake. It was a major learning point in the agency, is not to rely on just one client. Just because things are going well right now, you might have 4 or 5 clients on the books and you're doing work for them. That does not mean that you should stop marketing and selling yourself. That's why sometimes it's important to have 1 person, 2 people, 3 people in your business who are constantly doing this, so that if one client leaves, you have another one ready to take its place. And that allows you to have predictability in your business, so that you know, all right, in five months, if we carry on making this much money, then we will be able to hire this person. If you're relying too much on one client, you don't know if they're going to renew in 3 or 6 months' time. So all you can do is do the best work you can, but you end up hyper focused on this one client and forgetting about maybe all the other clients, or actually selling yourself to new clients. So you need to remember not to just rely on one client. Make sure you diversify your portfolio, just like people do in the stock market. Just make sure that you're selling yourself all the time, and don't just rely on that one client paying their invoice every month. Making mistakes is all part of business. It's part of growing as a business person. And so don't feel bad when you make these mistakes. Maybe you've made some of the similar ones to me in the past. Don't feel bad. Just make sure you learn from them and try not to make those mistakes again. That's the most vital learning out of all of this. I'd love to know some of your mistakes that you've made in business and how you overcame them. So leave them down there in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit subscribe for more videos about marketing and finance, and I'll see you in the next one.